Story 1. If I am attracted to someone, my anxiety peaks and I act like they are not there and there is nothing to see. I am single, by the way. Edit. Someone gave me a gift. Thank you, anonymous someone. Story 2. Interested in you? He might engage or try to give you a sign to engage. Attracted to you? You probably cannot tell. I personally find 25 to 50% of women attractive, and I hope my behavior does not reflect that view. It is like when you see a really nice tree. You may look for a moment to take it in, might double take to make sure it is as beautiful as you thought or to see another angle, but ultimately you walk on by and move on. Story 3. When he is in a group and they all start laughing at a joke, perhaps one he made, he looks to you first to see if you found it funny. Story 4. When he remembers small details you mentioned once in passing, like, "Sir, why do you know my coffee order from 3 weeks ago?" Story 5. I tell you with complete certainty that if I am attracted to you, I sit there in silence and go about my day. I am scared to talk to you. Story 6. I contact, smiling at you, remembering things you say, doing whatever he can do to be near you if you are colleagues or work in close proximity, looking for you in crowded spaces, letting you either lead the conversation or talk about yourself as much as possible. Story 7. Little bids for attention or positive responses to bids for attention, either in person or via text. Story 8. He is concerned about your well-being and ensures you are feeling comfortable and happy. Story 9. As a male, it is easier when the girl makes it obvious she is interested in you. It is a green light to proceed. Story 10. Consistency. He finds reasons to talk to you, remembers small details you mentioned, makes actual plans, and follows through. You will see the lean in, longer eye contact, quick smile, feet pointed your way. Words are cheap. Steady effort is not. Story 11. Honestly, attraction does not always show up in obvious ways. A man can think you are stunning and never act on it at all. For many of us, it is more like appreciating art in a museum. You admire it, maybe pause a second longer, but you are not pulling out a sketchbook and setting up camp. If he is actually interested in you specifically, not just attracted, that is when you usually see some effort to talk to you, find excuses to be around, or actually initiate something. Attraction alone is quiet. Interest makes noise. Story 12. Not a man, but here for the answers, as I cannot tell when and if someone flirts with me. It is always filed under being nice to me or wants to be tipped better. Story 13. He keeps looking at me and smiling, or his eyebrows lift. He also leans in, using conspicuous non-sexual touch and flirtatious banter. Story 14. There really are not any reliable signs in this day and age for various reasons. Men often try not to show interest, in fact, and they are better at it than women because they already suppress emotions. Story 15. I am a man. I will make an effort to talk to you to see if I like you. I will consistently do this until I find out. Story 16. I would say prolonged eye contact and the desire to connect with you in any way possible, such as long conversations, life stories, and hobbies. Story 17. If he tries to isolate you to engage with you more. Story 18. Attracted or interested. As a man among men, there is a difference. Story 19. If you say work at a coffee shop, he is going to find ways to visit you there more frequently. Story 20. Men are, almost by definition, attracted to attractive women. The number one sign that men are attracted to you is that you are an attractive woman. Story 21. If you catch him digging through your trash cans at 3 in the morning like a wild animal. Story 22. For me personally, it is just an energy I feel coming from the man. Sounds wild, I know, but I have yet to be wrong about the feeling that I know of course. Story 23. Being very casual. Hi. Yeah, have a nice weekend. Occasional word salad out of nowhere. Tries desperately not to look in your direction as often as he would like to. Story 24. He replies promptly. He does not discuss you with his friends. He does not play mind games. Story 25. Hot take. If you are interested in him, anything is a sign. If you are not, you would think it is creepy. Story 26. In my personal experience, he keeps finding reasons to talk to you, especially silly ones. Story 27. A guy gave me his phone number. I think that was quite revealing. Story 28. I just say it if it is appropriate, and the vibe is alright enough that if it is not reciprocal, we can both move past it. This has made my life easier. Or I ask the big question. Are you seeing anyone? And then, if no, why not? Story 29. If he grabs my genitals, I know he is interested in me and trying to get closer. Story 30. He makes a surprised Pikachu face when you call the police on him for stalking. Story 31. I'm not sure. I have been out of that loop so long it's a semicircle now. I think guys these days, on some level, are terrified to let you know they are interested. Nobody wants sexual harassment drama, particularly at work. If he makes lame or semi-lame excuses to engage in conversations, that's a sign. His eyes popping out when you wear a certain low-cut blouse is definitely a sign. If he can't form complete sentences when you approach him, that's definitely a sign. I've been married so long, Mose could have been our officiant. Story 32. He makes it a point to talk to you and be around you. Men are quite obvious. Story 33. If I am attracted to a woman, I usually do nothing out of the ordinary because I am afraid that if they find out, they will resent me. I am both single and searching, so it is a bit counterproductive. Story 34. They will bring up the most foolish topics of conversation just to have a reason to talk to you and try to get a laugh or some sort of positive reaction. Story 35. He remembers the smallest details about you that you do not even remember. Story 36. Unusual expressions and facial gestures occur naturally when we like you. Story 37. I do not know. Try searching the other 2,000 identical posts on this subreddit. Story 38. There is a look in their eyes that they sometimes get soft and intense at the same time. Story 39. I'm a female, and to me, my number one sign is consistency. What guy is constantly calling, checking in, or trying to see if he's attracted or at least interested? Am I right, or is that not even an indicator in today's time? Story 40. They met you and chased you relentlessly until you gave in and dated them. Story 41. Finds a way to touch your hand. Frequent glances from across the room. Story 42. He looks at you the way I look at my coffee machine, as if it knows too much. Story 43. Obsessive thinking. He will find the time and any excuse possible to spend time with you. He will sleep less just to spend more time with you. Story 44. Well, he finds excuses to be around you, even when there is no real reason to be. Story 45. They keep looking at you. If you find yourself making eye contact with a person you do not know, and it happens more than once, they are probably checking you out and find you attractive. Story 46. When they start getting touchy all of a sudden, it does not necessarily need to be sexual, but just touching you in general, especially when they do not do it with others. And as I said before, it happens all of a sudden. Story 47. Funny. When I am attracted to a girl, I just avoid her at all costs. Story 48. The number one sign. Really? You are not looking closely enough. Story 49. When they beg you to talk to them inside their head when they see you. Story 50. He will cyberbully a girl you abused as a child for 7 years. Story 51. I do not know about all men, but generally, if you start to feel certain elements have begun to pull your attention towards you, such as a small gesture or looking at you, it is as if the man or men in question are trying to get you to reduce the distance between you. This indicates attraction. Story 52. He keeps staring at you, and when you look his way, he looks away. Story 53. He is trying to make eye contact, and when he does, he smiles. Story 54. Men are often too afraid of rejection or being perceived as inappropriate to initiate. Story 55. You do not. Whenever I feel attracted to a woman, I remind myself of everything that can go wrong in one night, and I just decide to go home. Story 56. He suddenly becomes the most helpful person on earth and volunteers to carry your groceries, fix your broken items, and drive you to the airport at 5 a.m., but cannot remember to take out his own trash or return his mother's phone calls. Story 57. I refuse to pass gas in the presence of a woman I like. I am clearly old-fashioned. Story 58. He is always writing messages or wanting to hear from you. When he likes you, it is noticeable, and when he does not, it is much more noticeable. Story 59. He has been looking at you for more than 5 seconds or many times within 1 minute. Story 60. Really attracted or interested? Really attracted is almost a subliminal response. They cannot help but glance excessively, looking for a favorable response while their primal brain attempts to construct assumptions. Story 61. I just start roasting women I find attractive. It is the strangest thing ever, but I guess if she genuinely laughs at me mocking her, she might be slightly attracted to me. I do not know, but they say you can laugh your way into her heart. So I always try to make jokes about her. Results may vary, and you could end up upsetting her. Story 62. He lies. If his only attraction to you, he will say anything and everything that you want to hear. Story 63. 99.99% of men will find 99.99% of women attractive if certain conditions are met. This is a major reason why women, as a group, often believe every woman is a 10, and why almost any woman can easily have sexual encounters if she lowers her own standards. It also explains why women, as a group, fear sexual assault and rape from most men. Story 64. I am a 29-year-old male. I believe this applies to both genders, but I think it is when he goes out of his way to be around you and to help you. Story 65. Identifies as a body seeking something outside the mind for fulfillment. Story 66. Consistency in seeing you, texting you, and expressing feelings. Story 67. He is conscious and breathing, which usually indicates normal function. Men are dogs. Story 68. The way he looks at you and remembers tiny details you mentioned days ago. Story 69. You will know immediately if a man is interested in you. However, it is difficult to determine if he wants a relationship, a casual encounter, or something else. I have known many men who give hope to women but leave them waiting for years without defining the relationship. Therefore, know what you want first and communicate it clearly. You will receive the answer you need. Story 70. When they say your name 100 times in one conversation because they watched that one TikTok about how it is the way to get girls to like you. Story 71. He is especially nice to you. You notice him looking at you and not paying much attention to the world around him, and he finds reasons to talk to you and be near you. Story 72. Well, usually you do not need to think about it. Most of the time you can feel it. I do not want to sound weird, but you can see it from the men's behavior and how they look at you. Story 73. Men who pay me for everything and treat me like a princess. I love them. Also, when they put their hand on my leg while driving. Story 74. There is a difference between being attracted and deciding to stay. Story 75. It depends on the type of attraction. Is he attracted to you as a person, to you as a woman, or to you as a Barbie doll? Story 76. When he opens the car door for you, then pushes you out. Story 77. He tells you he is. That right there is an almost 100% guarantee. Story 78. I unintentionally act shy and unintelligent around someone I am attracted to. Story 79. When he listens to the little details you did not even realize you told him. Story 80. If a man is interested, you can see it through his actions. The way he treats you, the way he cares for you, and the updates he gives without being asked. Story 81. For me at work, I work in construction. When they unnecessarily mention their wife, I think, Sir, please be quiet and tell me when we are going to finish this job, so I can stop talking to you. You smell unpleasant like sweat, and you are getting my carpet area dirty. Story 82. I am on an introverted tilt right now, and I tend to avoid looking even remotely in the direction of an attractive woman. This sometimes backfires and makes them think I am giving a signal by not looking at them. Story 83. When he listens to me deeply and wants to hear me. Story 84. Making time for you, like changing his own plans to spend time with you. Story 85. For me, the obvious sign would be creating conversations that are non-transactional. For example, if we work at the same place and I text you asking for a shift swap, or if it is an office job to forward me something or request clarity, I am doing it because I have to. If I text you saying, check out Robert's weird shoes, and we are not particularly close, I am trying to engage with you. I at least find something about you attractive, even if it is not a full-on love affair yet. Story 86. Here in Singapore, when I was young, that might mean he starts grabbing your crotch. Usually, women show interest by body slamming you or pinching you hard. Good times. Story 87. His friends suddenly know your name without you telling them. Story 88. You get his uninterrupted attention. Girls, we men are very obvious. Guess unlike you, just kidding. If not, my wife is gonna kick me now. Story 89. Okay. I am here. My address is 51823 Adele Avenue, Cabazon, California, 92230. My cell phone number is 951-761-9009. Please remember to text only. Story 90. I'm a lesbian, but I can say with absolute certainty when they play your song recommendations in their car. Story 91. The classic constantly glances over, never uttering a single word unless spoken to. Story 92. People who are interested will put themselves in your presence. If he is always trying to be around you when he can and does not have to be, that is a really strong sign he is attracted to you. Story 93. When he starts sleeping in his car outside your house every night. Story 94. It is about how much care and attention you give them. If you visit every few days to spend time in the shade of that tree, you probably really have a special connection with it. Others may notice as well. Story 95. He remembers small details you did not even realize you mentioned. Story 96. I wouldn't know. At 60 years old and 2 marriages, I still wouldn't know. They were not attracted to me by looks, that is for sure. But I have a nice smile and I like to laugh. I am fierce to defend what is mine. I keep a good house and work hard. That must be it. Story 97. We ignore you and try to stop the daydreaming before it is too late. It is always too late. Story 98. Okay, I guess no guy or girl, for that matter, wants to be friends or more than friends. No one talks to me at all. I have no friends. I have nobody, really. Single for several years at this point. I will keep doing me and helping others in their time of need. Story 99. Usually, when someone is interested in you, they mimic your movements or copy your words. Their body language will be constantly directed toward you. For example, if their feet are pointed at you often or they have an open posture with you and no one else. These tend to be subconscious, but they can make a difference when you are interested in someone and they are also interested. Another sign is the look back. After walking away, when someone turns around to check you out again, it is often because they do not want to stop looking at you or want to see how you react. Eye contact can sometimes be manipulative and controlling. People tend to use heavy eye contact or touch a lot when they want to get intimate. That is why many people are turned off by it. Some think that is how you attract others, but it can give off creepy vibes because it is too intimate for someone you just met. It is best to stick to normal eye contact. Prolonged eye contact can be negative. Story 100. In my honest opinion, if a man starts a conversation with you, he is most likely attracted to you. With the exception of work, most men will not approach you unless they see something about you that they want to explore. The real test, I believe, is to engage back. If you engage back and the man stays engaged, then he is attracted to you. Story 101. I would not know because no one has ever found me attractive. Story 102. I very tenderly explain to them that I will guarantee at least one orgasm. Story 103. I really like men who are engaged in martial arts, but I am a little bit scared of them because sometimes they are too aggressive. Story 104. I have a bad habit of looking up from what I am doing when her name is called, such as during roll call or by her friends. Story 105. Something I learned about myself years ago is that I go into protector mode. When I was in college, there was a girl I shared a couple of classes with that I had feelings for. I never went out of my way to let her know this. In fact, I worked really hard to hide it. One day, she came in looking pale because she was hungover. Later in the class, she fainted. I ran to her, caught her on her way down, and made sure she didn't hit her head on the floor. I got everyone to go get some water and call someone to come help. She was out for only a short time. When she came to, I helped her up and took her to the hallway to rest on a bench. I also called her a cab home. Later, everyone teased me about how I completely transformed into a different person. I felt embarrassed because I didn't realize I had gone overboard. We never dated because she wasn't interested, and I eventually got over her. But she did thank me for helping her that day. So maybe if a man quickly comes to your aid, even for the smallest thing, it could be a sign. Story 106. If I see a girl I am attracted to and want her to be mine, I start thinking that if I like her this much, probably other people do as well. If she is this lovely, she likely has a partner already or would not date someone like me. So I just keep walking. Story 107. If he acts with jealous behavior towards other men you are talking with, it can be something like, wow, this guy seems weird. Story 108. You feel like he is attracted to you just for existing. It is not because of anything you did. It is because of who you are. Story 109. What a question. I exchanged eye contact with this man the other day at my family doctor's clinic. I could tell his eyes locked on me. He shifted a bit from his seat to look from the corner of his eye where I was seated. Clearly, he found me attractive at first sight. But nothing happened because we were in a clinic and these days men do nothing unlike back in the good old days. I went in to see my doctor, came back, and he was either with another doctor or gone. But it made my day. Story 110. He pays extra attention to you. His eyes, body language, and focus keep returning to you, even in a group. Story 111. Certain body parts increase in size, such as the pupils of the eyes. Story 112. When he starts being horrible to you for no apparent reason. Story 113. Pupils dilate when they look at you. This cannot be faked or suppressed. Story 114. He tries to spend time with you and does things for you without asking, just because he wants to help you, nothing more. Story 115. His body is always directed towards you, and he looks at you often. When you talk alone, he looks at your lips. Story 116. He stares into your soul for 20 seconds, like love at first sight. Story 117. He is sending you a message just to make small talk, and when he does not have a reason to speak to you, he will send memes instead. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.